The date of Rebecca's murder was July 18th, 1989. She was murdered by a crazy fan, a 19-year-old named Robert John Bardo. And on numerous occasions, Bardo attempted to contact Rebecca through writing letters and other fan mail in hopes that she would respond. And in one of those instances, she did respond, and I guess she sent him a letter back in return. Robert had other obsessions with other celebrities and other actresses, including a child activist named Samantha Smith, who unfortunately passed away in a plane crash. However, once Samantha passed away in the plane crash in 1985, that is when Robert kind of turned his gears or attention to Rebecca and started obsessing hardcore over Rebecca, including stalking her. And in 1987, while Rebecca was in Los Angeles filming My Sister Sam, the TV show, Robert actually tried to gain access to the studio set where she was acting on. And thankfully the security guards there turned him away. However, he returned about a month later to the same set, this time armed with a knife. But thankfully, once again, Rebecca was fine. They turned him away once again. Robert, for a few years, kind of went about his business, kind of turned his attention to some other celebrities, including Madonna. In 1989, that is when Robert decided to go back and try to see Rebecca. What turned Robert to want to kill Rebecca was the fact that Rebecca apparently starred in a movie called Scenes from the Class Struggle in Beverly Hills. And in that movie, she was in a scene where she was in bed with another actor as part of that scene. And so when Robert saw that, he took it as like a personal offense that Rebecca was basically sleeping with another man. Even though, again, it was a movie, but in Robert's mind, it felt like a personal attack, and so he kind of deemed that Rebecca needed to die. So once again, Robert Bardo traveled back to Los Angeles in order to again try to find Rebecca, but this time with a murder in mind. Robert apparently got in touch with a private investigator and hired them to find Rebecca's address. Now, nowadays in 2021, you're not allowed to do that, but back then they didn't really have those same laws against giving out people's personal addresses, that still lived there. Robert went down Rebecca's street where she lived and asked numerous people walking down the road where Rebecca's house was, and eventually he finally found the right house. He went, rang the doorbell, and Rebecca answered. At that time, Robert just gave her a paper and asked her to autograph it, and she said, "Sure, I'll sign it for you." But then she asked him never to come back to her house. At that time, Robert went back to a diner nearby, kind of hung out there for a while, and then about an hour later returned with a handgun. Went back to Rebecca's house, knocked on the door. Rebecca answered once again. She apparently gave him a cold stare, almost like, "What are you doing back here when I just told you to leave?" That kind of stare. And basically at that moment, Robert picked out his gun that he brought with him, shot Rebecca right in the chest. And I guess Rebecca's only word was, "Why?" And she kind of stumbled and fell. And I guess she passed away about an hour later in the hospital. Thankfully, Robert Bardo was caught. He was speeding downtown, and they pulled him over, and he immediately confessed to killing Rebecca. And again, Robert was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. I'm at the Ojave Shalom Cemetery here in Portland, Oregon, and this is where 21-year-old actress Rebecca Schaeffer is laid to rest. Rebecca was born November 6th, 1967, in Eugene, Oregon, and she grew up in a Jewish family household. Her parents were Jewish, and she attended Lincoln High School, and apparently had dreams to become a rabbi. However, her plans changed, and she ended up pursuing some modeling, which kind of in turn got her into acting. And so she decided to move to New York City to kind of pursue her modeling and acting career. She ended up getting several roles on some TV shows, including One Life to Live and My Sister Sam. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Again, my name is Harmon. I hope you stick around on my channel. Thank you for watching. And until next time, I'll see you on the next one. See you soon.